especially now, 1 week before the Global Partnership meeting in Quebec City. I think this is maybe also a preparation for a nuclear radiological sub-working group. So it's very well chosen moment. We have been active in the Global Partnership from the very beginning, and I'll get back later in the day then and tell about our project activities. But once more, thank you for the invitation and looking forward to the discussion today.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Anja Polden, and I work for the Norwegian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I would like to express my gratitude for being here in Stockholm for this meeting. And I would also like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the SSM for hosting this third information sharing initiative meeting here in Stockholm. We are gathered to discuss our common efforts of collaboration and cooperation to better secure radiological and nuclear material and enhance the nuclear detection architecture in Ukraine. Successive Norwegian governments and parliaments have given high priority to Norway's cooperation on nuclear safety and security. However, improved nuclear security and safety requires not only national and bilateral efforts, but also regional and multilateral efforts. We consider that the work of this group, the Information Sharing Initiative, is of great importance. A nuclear accident or incident can easily have impact beyond national borders. The scale of this challenge is too large to handle alone. As mentioned earlier today, at the Nuclear Security Summit in The Hague and Washington, D.C., Norway's Prime Minister Erna Solberg issued statements offering cooperation with and assistance to Ukraine in the area of nuclear security and safety. These statements were followed up through engagement in bilateral and multilateral projects in Ukraine. Norway and Sweden presented a plan to strengthen cooperation on nuclear security issues. This was in response to the Ukrainian concerns that the conflict in Ukraine could threaten its nuclear facilities and that radioactive sources could fall into the wrong hands. We have since expanded our efforts in Ukraine, and together with the US, we are engaged in various projects on radioactive source security and border control. Following our initiative on the Nuclear Security Summit in 2016, this year we hosted the third international symposium on minimizing and eliminating the use of highly enriched uranium in civilian application. We also hosted the joint US-Nordic workshop on nuclear security and forensics, with the possibility to share valuable experiences, common practice, and lessons learned. Norway provides substantial support for Ukraine's reform and transformation efforts. At the beginning of September this year, the Norwegian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Ine Eriksen Søreide, visited Ukraine. The following week, our Ministry of Trade and Industry, Mr. Torbjørn Røe Isaksen, visited Kiev as head of the Norwegian delegation to a meeting of the bilateral Norwegian-Ukrainian Economic Commission meeting. Nuclear safety was an issue that both ministers discussed with their Ukrainian counterparts. It is likely that in the future, the cooperation on nuclear safety and security will become an even more important element of our bilateral project cooperation. The Norwegian government's action plan for nuclear safety and security that was first adopted in 1995 is revised this year, and it provides the guidelines for our cooperation on nuclear safety and security with Ukraine and other countries in Eurasia. And I brought some coffee, please, if you are interested. I will let them here for your reading afterwards if you want. And I'm very happy to see such great interest for this meeting. Following up the start of the Information Sharing Initiative in Oslo in 2016 and meeting in Ukraine in 2017. We are very pleased that the Information Sharing Initiative now is well established And I would like to thank all representatives for taking part in this valuable initiative that fits within the G7 Global Partnership Framework. And I wish us good luck in the discussions here in Stockholm. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kathleen Lowe. I am with the U.S. Department of State, and I'm very pleased to be here in Stockholm today, as I know my U.S. colleagues are as well. It's a beautiful city. I would like to begin by thanking our Swedish colleagues for hosting the third Information Sharing Initiative meeting on donor coordination in Ukraine. I would also like to thank the co-chairs of the ISI, Norway and Ukraine, for their continued efforts to make these meetings possible. As we've discussed here this morning, while not under official auspices of the Global Partnership, the ISI grew out of the Global Partnership's members' commitment and to coordinate assistance to Ukraine. This commitment of like-minded countries has made the ISI a model for the international donor community. The ISI is an incredibly valuable forum to coordinate nuclear security assistance to Ukraine, allowing us to discuss lessons learned, barriers to implementation, areas for coordination and deconfliction, and as well as possible areas for future collaboration. Nuclear security, nuclear security is one of the United States' highest national security priorities. And while many of our non-proliferation objectives focus on threats posed by state actors, we must remain vigilant in addressing the threats that terrorists and other non-state actors continue to pose. Terrorists and other malicious actors have demonstrated their willingness to inflict attacks, resulting in severe physical, psychological, and economic harm. We remain concerned that such actors may seek to acquire nuclear or other radioactive materials for use in such attacks. The United States partners with countries such as Ukraine to help ensure that they're prepared to secure, locate, and recover rad nuke materials. And this includes establishing and maintaining effective measures to prevent, detect, and respond to RN smuggling. The Joint Action Plan to counter rad nuke smuggling and its recent addendum between the United States and Ukraine continues to provide us with a strong framework for cooperation in this important work. I will conclude my remarks by reaffirming the United States' commitment to Ukraine and to the ISI members, with whom we have shared a goal of increasing rad nuke security in Ukraine. I look forward to productive and fruitful meetings over the next 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Just for checking, as a safety regulator, I would of course like to check, have we missed anyone? Yes, we have missed Germany. So now it's Germany as well.
Thank you very much. I was already starting to relax. Good morning, everyone. My name is Thilo Köhler. I'm from the German Federal Foreign Office. First of all, my delegation would like to thank our Swedish hosts for organizing this meeting, and as always, for their great hospitality. The long-standing engagement of Sweden for the cause of nuclear security, safety, and non-proliferation is well known and highly appreciated. In February 2016, I had the pleasure to attend a Sherpa meeting organized by Sweden for the Nuclear Security Summit. It seems like yesterday, but many times have happened since then. Furthermore, I'd like to thank the initiators of this meeting for their continued commitment to push for progress in nuclear security and safety as such, but particularly in the Ukraine. Finally, I would like to express my appreciation for the Ukrainian delegation for their continued openness for dialogue and cooperation. Germany has been involved in nuclear security and safety projects in the Ukraine for quite some time since the Chernobyl accident, both bilaterally and in the framework of international arrangements and organizations. One of these international frameworks was and is the Global Partnership Against the Spread of Weapons of Mass Destruction. The Global Partnership had a renewed focus on the Ukraine since 2014 due to the crisis we are all aware of. Germany took an active role in helping Ukrainian partners to reinforce nuclear security in 2 nuclear power plants, namely in Rivne and South Ukraine, these projects are still going on. On a bilateral basis, Germany has been active in the field of collection and safe storage of radioactive sources in the Ukraine since 2008 with the support of our expert organization GRS. In the meantime, 15,000 radioactive sources have been collected from Ukrainian institutions and put in safe storage. Furthermore, there have been and are various administrative and scientific collaborations in the field of safety and security of radioactive sources with the Ukraine. Germany has also supported other projects, like for example remediation projects on military sites implemented in cooperation with NATO's partnership program. I trust that participants of this meeting will report on manifold activities and experiences. My delegation is here, eager to hear from you and learn from other views. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. And we have France, I think, also.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Natalia Baudry and represent France at this meeting, so thank you for having me. I'm working with Alexander Gorbachev. Maybe some of you already worked with him. He was involved in the activity of the global partnership at Ukraine. So I'm really glad to be here. I'm more here today as observer for France because we finished our mission in Ukraine. So I'm looking forward to hearing your ongoing projects and understand more what is going on now and how France can also contribute maybe in the future. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. I think that was all the head of delegations. So now we have starting to get to know each other. There's possibly people that have been going to these kind of meetings for many years. Inga and I, for example, meets everywhere in the world, most regularly. But others could be new to each other. So why don't we take a little bit gymnastics, and we use the microphone as I don't know the name in English. Stafette. Yeah. To just make a short presentation who you are and your organization. And after that, I will leave the word to Inga to continue the program.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Katarzyna Siegin. I work for NRPA on regulatory cooperation program.
That was almost correct. I said a little bit gymnastics as well, so we can stand up so we can see each other. But I think we will develop.
Charlotte Birke, also from the Norwegian Radiation Protection Authorities, working on the nuclear action plan and all the projects we have in Ukraine and Russia.
Ingar Amundsen, head of section at the Norwegian Radiation Protection Authority, and I've been following the EC work for the last 2 years.
Good morning, my name is Taras Mikowski. I'm from the same organization, the Norwegian Radiation Protection Authority, working for cooperation with Ukraine. Thank you.
I'm Trevor Burnham. I work with the Defense Reduction Agency, the DoD, and I work on the global nuclear security and strategic offensive arms elimination in Ukraine.
Tina Kesterson. I also work with Major Burnham in regards with the DITRA organization. I'm in an advisory and assistant services position in global nuclear security.
Good morning, I'm J.J. Jones. I'm with the Export Control and Related Border Security Program at the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv.
Good morning, Chris Cowan. I support Major Burnham in the areas of cybersecurity, information technology, and law enforcement operations.
Good morning to everybody once again. My name is Leonid Minkowski. I am from Eneratom headquarters. Eneratom is a nuclear operator in Ukraine. We comprise all existing NPP Ukraine and PP. And together with my colleagues from Eneratom, we represent one of the main recipients of international technical assistance.
Good morning, my name is Svetlana Kulchitska. I work in Ministry of Energy and Coal Industry, Department of Nuclear Energy and Atomic Industry.
Good morning, my name is Natalia Klos. I'm a physical protection specialist in the Ministry of Energy and Coal Industry of Ukraine.
Greetings to everyone, Barzenko Vladislav, also Energatom. I'm like a project manager for technical assistant projects in field of physical protection. Thank you.
Александр Коробенко, Энергоатом, директор департамента практической защиты ядерных установок и ядерных материалов. Ну, я являюсь руководителем проекта двух атомных станций Ровенской и Южноукраинской при оказании помощи ЖРС.
Alexander Korabenko, also Energatom. He is the head of Department of Physical Protection and also head of our joint project in Energatom of Technical Assistance, and also head of the project with GRC.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Scott Shrum. I'm with the Department of Energy, Office of International Nuclear Security, and I spent the last 2.5 years at the U.S. Embassy in Kiev, so good to see a lot of familiar faces.
Good morning. My name is Joy Ferguson, and I'm with the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Radiological Security, and I manage the implementation of the Europe portfolio, including our work in Ukraine.
Good morning. My name is Alexander Bedil. I'm from DRS in Germany, and I do for, since 2015, the project with our foreign ministry in the Ukraine. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Emily Ng and I work with the U.S. Department of Energy's National Nuclear Security Administration, and I work with Scott from the Office of International Nuclear Security.
Good morning, my name is Margaret Wright, Ukrainian State Corporation Radon. I'm the head of International Department.
Morning, my name is Andrei Burgamitsov. I also represent Radon, Ukrainian State Corporation, and responsible for the radioactive waste management in Ukraine, and here I'm in the role of project management and technical expert.
Good morning, my name is Viktor Pashenko. I'm Deputy Head Nuclear Security and Safeguards Department of Ukrainian Regulatory Authority.
Good morning, Katerina Pavlova from State Agency of Ukraine on Exclusion Zone Management. I'm a head of International Department.
Good morning. I will stay there, just not to stay there. My name is Tatiana Verbutika, and I'm here represent the website on Euratom.org, which is a website of nuclear and radiation safety and non-proliferation, and I work as press secretary for State Scientific Center of Nuclear and Radiation Safety Ukraine.
Good morning, my name is Lyubov Zinkevich. I'm from Ukrainian delegation. I represent the State Agency on Exclusion Zone Management.
Good morning. Good morning, I'm Irina Tomashevska, Science and Technology Center in Ukraine, Senior Specialist.
My name is Vadim Evko. I'm from Ukraine, State Bodyguard Service of Ukraine, International Cooperation Department.
Good morning, I'm Julia Gibson with the Weapons Threat Reduction Program at Global Affairs Canada.
Good morning, my name is Jan Svenneman. I'm working for the Swedish Radiation Safety Authority, mainly with issues concerning nuclear security.
Van the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Sweden.
Good morning, Evgen Getman, Deputy Director General of State Corporation Radon.
Good morning, I'm Natalia Rivalka. I'm Head of Radioactive Management Safety Unit of the State Nuclear Inspectorate of Ukraine.
And I think that was all of us. Excellent, thank you. This was, of course, also a test to see if we were able to cooperate, and it worked out very well. It started a little bit rusty with the Norwegians, but it catched up. So with this introduction, and for showing the good cooperation spirit that you have done right now, I would like to give the floor to Ingmar Almarsson.